guys, it's the retail boss here. I'm at Five Loaves getting ready to chop it up and have some conversation with my girl. We are going to be bringing you hot topics today. That's right, guys. I'm going to be talking about things that are trending in the beauty industry, things from a beauty industry perspective, because you guys need to get it from us, because we're in this thing, we working it out, and we doing it. And me and my girl Tyra, we about to get it in. We are going to educate you. We are going to destroy some things that have been said about our industry that's just simply not true, and we're gonna be bringing y'all facts, and we're gonna deal with some of these problems that we got going on in the industry. So you guys stay tuned, because we about to get it in.
So with everything that has happened since COVID, we've had so many changes in our industry. I feel like it's given us a moment to embrace a lot of areas within the beauty industry that we weren't doing before. Right. And now that we have this whole natural hair movement, first of all, it's explosive.
Listen, when COVID first happened, it actually forced our clients to actually do their hair. So one, it forced them to do their hair, and then two, they began to listen to us about products and things that we recommended for them, and just like at-home maintenance and at-home techniques. So yes, the natural hair care movement has actually flourished, and I feel like a lot more people have gone natural since COVID.
I really do. And I think it gave way for more education.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to different textures of hair. You know, our clients couldn't come get their hair done. They were going to the beauty supply store. We know retail just went absolutely crazy.
Right.
Because they didn't have any choice but to come to us.
Exactly.
It's like, what do I do? What do I use? How do I maintain? And then people with chemicals were just like, I'll just cut it off. I'll just go natural. I'll just start from scratch. So it gave us a huge opportunity to educate.
Yes.
So what do you think, like, now that, you know, we've been educating our clients and, you know, we've really been pushing on the retail, where do you kind of see the movement going at this point?
At this point, I feel that they're more embracing of their natural hair. So I have a client who always wanted to get blowouts, and I'm like, she was an every week client, and I said, listen, you cannot continue to get these blowouts every week.
Correct.
Even though I'm maintaining the hair, you can still see the chemical damage or the mechanical damage that happens. So I'm like, listen, you have got to do a protective style. So she has never worn braids before. She is now wearing braids.
Okay.
So, and she even tried a wig. So she's like, this is not me.
So she's venturing out.
She's venturing out.
Love it.
She's venturing out. Because the goal is for her to wear her natural curl pattern. But she still had like some kind of straight ends to kind of deal with, so she doesn't want to cut it, so we have to take it inch by inch.
Yeah,
she is embracing her natural technique.
I get it, and it's something that you even mentioned, like, you know, wigs and hair pieces and stuff like that, because the natural phase has pushed its way. Like, people are wanting to wear more natural wigs. They want the kinky curly hair. They want the wavy, swavy. Like, it's just, I think that it's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Because for so long, people were just wanting more straight looks, so kind of like just body wavy. But people started to really fall in love with texture and curlier hair. So with that being said, you know, I made a post. I made a post. And in the post, actually it was a reel. And so you had this supermodel, flourishing model, turning into supermodel right now, and she did a video and she was saying how, you know, behind the scenes there was like no black makeup artists. It was like no one to do our texture of hair. So I feel like the industry still has a long way to go when it comes to growth, and stylists that are not African American or, you know, have any type of, well, I'm just saying this, stylists that are of European descent that don't really deal with a whole lot of our type of texture. I'm not gonna say they don't deal with texture because all hair is texture, but not having to, have the experience of that. I feel like some companies definitely started pushing more of that education.
Yes, they
and
did.
Bringing us
into their they
you
have.
know what I'm saying?
They have.
Yeah.
They have. So I think I know the video you were talking about, but I feel like brands are bringing us into their world. I want to say their world because for so long it was like, oh, this is a black product, this is a white product.
Right.
But now they're seeing that even white people have texture hair.
We do.
And sometimes you have to deal with that texture differently because like hair is hair, it's just different textures. So in saying that, I just feel like we do still have a long way to go, but they are embracing the needs that we need to be in their space to teach and coach and educate them on our texture, what our skin tone is like, what should we use, what shouldn't we use, and those things like that. So
yeah, and I'm really starting to enjoy the texture versus race movement.
Yes.
I feel like it's bringing us together as a whole, as a collective, versus being so separated. Like white stylist here, black stylist there. And then you have like the Latino and the Asian stylists. They veer towards more our side because they're like, hey,
we don't know which way to go.
Yeah, we don't know which way to go, but we feel a little bit more comfortable right here. So I feel like that particular movement is pushing us into a space of understanding.
Yes.
Because race is an issue and texture is an issue. Yes. So now how do we cultivate our salons to make our salons a safe space for everybody to come to versus the norm? Like if I see a black stylist, that means they only do black hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the part, and I, as a salon owner, a previous salon owner, that was an image that I didn't want to, or stigma I didn't want to ever have, and that's why I made this a little bit more like versatile.
Right.
But it still was hard to get some of the other ethnic backgrounds to come into that environment. So what do you think we need to do?
So for me, a little bit of my background is I went to a predominantly white education school. Okay. So for me, when I came out the gate, I already said that I'm gonna do everybody. Like there's no race in my chair, so I do all textures. And as far as in the beauty salon space, I just create a culture of diversity in my salon. So it's not like, oh, I can't do you, I can do you. No. And I teach my stylists the same thing. You do everyone.
Yes.
And so I feel like the thing with me is I'm so glad to be connected to the texture versus race movement because it's giving that education.
Yeah.
And it's also not only bringing the stylists together, but it's making the brands aware that even if they weren't aware that they weren't being biased, it's making them aware and it's making them like think, oh, are we? Aren't we?
Yeah.
Maybe let's dig in deeper with this. And so I know I've been a part of the movement for about 3 or 4 years now, and then just recently this year was the biggest texture versus race that I've ever went to, and the brands were like lined up. Wow. On the side, she had like a design pod or a brand pod where we can touch the products, feel the products, and just to see some of the brands that were represented there, I'm like, okay, like yes, come on with it. So just seeing that this movement actually caused change to really happen. Because at the end of the day, whether you're a white woman, black woman, Asian woman, Latino woman, we all want to look beautiful and we all think about our hair. That's point blank. We all think about our hair. So we want to make sure that wherever we go, whoever we want to see, that, well, when they come in my salon, I want them to feel comfortable that they can sit in my chair and we understand their hair texture, we understand their hair type, we understand the products that we need to use. So I feel like it has equipped me to be education, to give education to my client behind the chair.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Like, same as well. I went to a predominantly all-white school. My teacher was British, and she was like, I cannot teach you how to do your hair texture. You're going to have to continue your education. And I was just like, well, where am I go? I didn't know what she was, was referring to. I was like, where am I supposed to go? And I got introduced to Dudley. Like, I knew Dudley products because, where I lived in Jersey, we used to go to Philly to get our hair done. That's how close we were.
Right.
We would go to Philly to get our hair done. And I went to a salon for years, and they only used Dudley products. But I didn't know that there was a school. So when she put me on to the school, I was like, look at this white lady, knows what she knows about this. And listen, when I tell you it changed my world, wow. I saw Black entrepreneurship totally different. I saw Black beauty business totally different. I had no idea to the magnitude of the products and the development and who was behind what. So I was able to take that opportunity and go to Dudley Cosmetology University and just advance myself.
Right.
And I don't think education should ever stop in this industry. As a beauty industry professional, I don't care if you teach classes. It doesn't matter if you're a salon owner. The education should never stop.
Yes.
It is continuous. And that's the only way we can continue to be successful in our businesses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you grow.
Right.
And I think if we can get more of other nationalities of stylists with us.
Yes.
Let's come together. Let's learn from each other.
Right.
First of all, can we walk in love?
Right.
That's the key.
That part.
That's the key. If we don't just walk in, and y'all know I got to bring the Lord in this song.
I know it. Bring him in here. Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
If we can just invoke the love of Christ.
Yeah.
In these moments, I believe that there will be barriers broken. I believe that hearts will be mended. I believe that there will be an opportunity for people to let their guard down and say, I didn't realize that was offensive.
Yes.
Me turning away clients was offensive. All of those things play a part. But if we don't operate in love, how can we ever bring change? Because that's when my white counterparts will say, you know what? I'm going to do hair on this movie set. I want to bring you with me.
Right.
I'm going to do hair behind the scenes of this fashion show. I want to bring you with me.
Yes.
That's the only way it's going to happen. So there's still like this space that we need to bridge this gap. And I believe that the movement, the texture versus race movement, is going to help to bridge that gap. I'm so grateful that God gave someone like Kia that vision. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because without vision, your people will perish. We'll just sit up here and just wither away and die away and never get ourselves in a position to where we can be found.
Right.
The only way you can get yourself in a position to be found is to connect with people. Make partnerships with people. That's it. Once you start, like you and I, we formed a relationship, we formed partnerships.
Yep. And it was at the first texture versus movement.
It was. And I literally, I was coming to support my friend, help her, and be a part of such a great thing.
Yes.
And one thing I can say for myself that I can say that I absolutely just love is rapport. Like just building rapport with people will take you so far.
I gotta stop right there. Because, the connection and the rapport and collaboration is amazing. But how do you deal with when people want to build rapport but it's for their own personal gain? It's not really walking in love. So you do have, it's like a twofold thing. Like you want to be out there, you want to help people, you want to be there for people, but then you're the one that's always getting the short end of the stick. Once they get to where they gotta go.
You're right. And I've been in that position so many times because I am such a giver. And sometimes, for a long time, I didn't realize how to sit back and look at somebody's fruit. When you start looking at
because all you want to do is give. Because all you knew was to give.
That's all I knew. I didn't know how to examine fruit.
Right.
So when I started examining the fruit that was coming from the tree, then I was able to see, in a spiritual perspective, this motive is off. Yeah, this motive is off. And now, versus me attacking you when I know that your motive is off, it's an opportunity for me to be an example of you and deal with it and talk about it and see if you are a person that is open to change.
Right.
Because if I can't show you, like you said, integrity, I can't show you integrity by me saying, as your sister, I need you to understand your motives are off.
Right.
If you change your motives and you walk in this life, God will open up more doors for you. Because it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You can't be what we call in Charleston, South Carolina, onesie. You can't be onesie, baby, and think you gonna roll, because that ain't happening. I just love it. I absolutely love it. And we're gonna pause right there. But we did good. 14 minutes, we did good.
Yeah.
So you know what? I've been thinking.
When Keena get to thinking,
I've been thinking.
when the retail boss thinks,
I've been thinking. Wouldn't it be amazing if somebody just put on a hair show that was totally geared around texture? I mean, on a level to where not only professionals could come to such an event, but also the public could come to such an event. Because I feel like if we can bring them into our space and show them that we really are embracing this movement, we really love this movement, and we want to continue to educate them so that they can grow and love what God blessed them with, I think it would just be a dope collaboration.
so you know they have something on a smaller scale here in Charleston,
The natural hair
the
show.
Natural Hair Show.
Yes.
But I feel like if we had more brands to come and participate, it would be off the charts.
And I think like that name, natural, it makes other people feel like, well, I don't do natural hair, so that's not for
That's
me.
not for me, right?
So maybe changing that name, and I'm throwing this out there, and I hope I ain't gonna tell you who I hope hear this, but I hope somebody that I know hears this, because if there was a show and it was just like the name, and it was just focused on that textured name, some kind of a way, in lights highlighting that, I think we could kill a lot of this stuff.
I think so.
I think that we really can.
I think so.
Yeah, and it would have to be somewhere in like a good city for, you know, it to just grow and continue to get bigger and bigger, you know, every year. I think that would be amazing.
What city would you think that would be,
Man.
this should like debut in?
I'm gonna be honest with you, like that DC area, that would be amazing. Atlanta still wouldn't even be bad, but I think like Washington DC
is
Maryland,
more, yeah.
it's very, you know, it's a hub is there. A lot of people can, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
kind of like one of those. It's a melting pot.
Yes.
And I mean, Atlanta is, to me, when you say the word Atlanta, I'm not gonna say it has a stigma, but we do think of it as being the Black Mecca.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong with it.
But because we already have a show that's showcased there and it's very well known, I think a place like Washington D.C., you know, that metropolitan area, I think that would be a great place.
Yeah.
Because it's a neutral ground.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't know of any show there except for Texture versus Race that's there now.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Well, anyway, I think it's gonna be great.
I think it will be.
I think it's gonna be dope. I'm glad our food is here because, child, I ain't ate nothing all day long, and it's nothing like being able to just have conversation and, you know, just chop it up and talk about all these things that's going on in our industry.
Yes.
Like, these hot topics need to be discussed because we have to make sure that we have a voice. And I feel
think
like
that we're losing our voice a little bit. Because I know, as far as like with, well, I'm not going to say we're losing our voice. We're choosing not to use our voice where it needs to be voiced. So, you
that's
know, like
good.
with our state board.
that's good.
Because I know they were having them online, but I don't know if they're back in person
The
yet.
meetings are still online.
Okay.
There's been a couple of changes that have happened, but what I can tell you is I don't think a lot of the changes for the barbering industry
it's been great changes.
Right. I saw that.
Because now they can go mobile. They can literally be on wheels.
Yes.
And that has taken a long time just in the state of South Carolina to get approved. That's been a fight for a very, very long time.
The beauty industry.
But the beauty industry, we always get the raw end of the stick. And I think we get the raw end of the stick because a lot of us don't attend and we don't band together and like vocalize. I feel like in a lot of the meetings, it's a lot of onesies and twosies. You get this person and that person, they're always bringing things to the table, which those things go on the docket. When you come and you speak at a meeting, it goes on the docket. And then, you know, of course the board has to say, well, I think this is something we need to think about. This is something that we need to review. You know, we may need to bring this topic back again the next meeting to give time for deliberation and thought process.
Right.
But, you know, I do believe some of the reasons behind it, you know, when COVID happened and we all shut down, we can't even sit up here and say that. Like, I know people were doing hair in their house. They had to make money. They had to take care of their families. What were they supposed to do? So you get a person like me who's vocalizing this as a part of the board saying like, hey guys, this isn't cool. We need to find a way, a happy medium, because these people are still going to do what they have to do regardless if this is a law or not. People will take that chance to take care of their family. And to also save their business.
Yeah.
Because out of sight, out of mind. We had to make sure that we stayed relevant with our clients.
Yes.
Regardless of them going to the beauty supply store, buying color, buying products, trying their own thing. Us, you know, doing little mini classes with our clients to teach them little things about their hair. We didn't want them to think that they didn't need us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had to still stay relevant. So, you know, it came to a point to where it was just a losing battle. And the main reason why they didn't want or they don't want cosmetologists doing hair in the house is because of it's more so the chemicals. Because of the chemicals.
You can't control it.
That you don't have enough backflow, and then also water pressure. Right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, look at our food coming out.
Yes.
I love it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Amazing. Thank
All right.
you.
Just leave these alone for now and check up on you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So yeah, so with that being said, you know, that's the main argument, and you can't even argue against it. But if that's the case, why couldn't we have some type of mobile unit that had, like, somebody needs to come to the table and say, I've actually engineered a unit, I have a prototype, and I can, whatever that pressure needs to be, we have it.
The pressure.
We get the pressure. The backflow, we just need to make sure we're in a certain area to where that water can run out, or a tank that can hold all the water that's been used, that use water with the chemicals in it, and you can dispose it at a, you know, later time on a different location. That needs to happen if we want that movement to happen.
Yeah.
It's only going to take one person. Ain't nobody presented no prototype yet. So that's it. That's all. And I believe that when that happens, or if that happens, as it gets presented and it stays on the docket, they have to pay attention.
They have to pay attention to it.
They don't have a choice. And then they have to review. When you present a packet of information to the state board, they gotta look at it. So you need to find a way to make a proposal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have a choice. Now, let's be real. Let's keep it a buck.
Right.
We already know that state board is only there to enforce law.
Enforce the law.
That's it. They're there to enforce the law. They're there to hear about things that we want changed in our industry. But if we don't come to the table with a problem to the solution, solution to the problem, it's like null and void. It's like, yeah, we know, but
whatever.
We ain't got no answers.
Right.
I know this is what you want to do, but y'all got to present something. No one's presenting anything. I'm in those meetings every single month. Nobody's presenting anything. And then if you're going to present it, you're going to have to really take hold of leading that. So that's going to take time. That's going to take you
resources.
Creating an organization. Like, you need to get your mayors, your governors. You have to get people to come to the table and sign off and say, we know that this is what's being proposed, and we feel like this will be a help to the community. Because if we're able to go and provide services to people that are homebound, I mean, now we can't technically, by law, we can do that. You just can't provide no chemical service.
Right.
That's it. But it's only in that case. That's it. So there's some things that, you know, as beauty professionals, if you say this is something you want to do, let's band together and make it happen for our state. Because if one state does it,
then everybody else will
Eventually,
follow
it's gonna start trickling off. It's like, you heard about so and so going on in South Carolina. Like, look what happened. What happened in California?
mine. Yes.
There's no more practical because of COVID.
Right.
So many people were waiting to go to boards that they were like, you know what? Let's get a lobbyist. Let's get this in writing. Let's try to present this with a bill. They slid it in. This wasn't the first time they tried to slide this bill. The second time, the third time, finally went on through. And you know what they said? They trusted the argument. There were a lot of people sitting and waiting that needed to do hair, needed to work, needed to get back into the workforce. But when everything was over, now you have all these people that need to be tested, and they didn't have the ability to do that. So now I gotta wait a whole, 6, 8 months, almost a year, and we're now back in full effect. We're back in the salons, and I gotta wait. I can't work. I can't eat. So they passed that law, and now the board has changed for the state of California. Now they're just like Florida. All you need is a written exam.
Written exam.
So what do you think is going to end up happening to all the rest of the states? Because see, Florida been about that life. But now that we had a situation, now all the other states are now like, hey, we might need
let
to
me
find
try.
a way to, if this has already been approved here, and this was recent, this ain't no old stuff,
Right.
we need to find a way to make that happen for our state.
Right.
It doesn't happen. And I'm like, do you understand? Like, the cosmetology schools will be so affected by this.
Yes.
So affected by this. And
Because
then
you could probably go to school online then.
yeah, absolutely. Just, I ain't gonna talk about them braiders. You know how I feel.
That's a conversation for another day.
You know how I feel. But you know what? I don't even be hating on the braiders like that. I just want them, if you're gonna do hair, do hair.
Right.
Don't be sitting up here getting a braider's license and you know that's all you want to do. I mean, you say that's all you want to do, but then you end up doing hair. You're using that as a vehicle to do hair. It's just wrong. It's wrong. And then we have so many people that's dealing with alopecia now, and they want to wear their hair out. They want to be natural. They want to wear their curly textured hair. They don't want to cover up their edges anymore. But look what happened.
My coworker said the other day, she's like, after I went to hair school, now I see why I needed to go to hair school. She said, I understand things so much better. She has a braider's license too, but she's like, I understand things so much better. She's like, girl, because I would have been tearing some people's hair up.
Yeah. It happens. And so, when you hear about other movements going on in the industry, you hear about the licensed versus unlicensed movement. We know that's a movement that's out there as well. Something that I definitely want to showcase. I think it's vital and it's important. And I think that we as, beauty professionals, I think it's our job to kind of push people in that direction when we see the talent. Like I have nieces that do amazing hair. And it's like, you need to go to cosmetology school. Well, why do I need to go to cosmetology school if I can see all these YouTubers, or I see these Insta famous stylists that are not licensed, and they out here and they are servicing celebrities, and they're winning.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're winning. So why do I need to go and get a license? So now we have to teach them the difference in the professionalism.
The professional, that's the big thing.
Huge.
It's the professionalism.
It is. It definitely is. The professionalism,
and the care of the hair. Like,
yes,
you can fix hair. Like, I have so many friends that I know that do a lot. Bomb, wigs, weaves. They use a lot of commercial hair. But when it comes down to when that client takes their hair out,
what you gonna do?
that scalp look a hot mess.
Hot mess.
How are you going to clean all of that off the scalp? How are you going to make that scalp healthy? How are you going to make sure that scalp don't have follicle damage? Like, how are you
Exactly.
going to do all of that? Do you have the knowledge and the wherewithal and the education to know, baby, you tearing this girl hair up?
Right.
So I feel like it's a lot of education that needs to happen, because like you said, the IG and the YouTube has these kitchen-ticians
Yes.
thinking that they can really just go and do hair and not have to be licensed as a professional.
Right.
And yes, I was a kitchen too in college, but I'm not that anymore because I've learned.
Right.
I'm glad nobody sued me.
Right.
But it's
Yeah.
it's very, you dealing with the crown of somebody's head.
Right.
God forbid you using Beijing and they allergic to it.
Exactly.
Girl,
No, you are right.
listen.
It's true.
But listen,
You use
I've
something
seen
you
it
don't
happen.
know.
And these men getting these blackout beards.
Oh my gosh.
If you have a skin condition and you know your barber doesn't know and you don't disclose that information and you come out looking like custom magic dragon, you
Right.
don't know what to do.
Right. You hit the nail on the head. That is so true. And you know, when it comes to really understanding why we chose this profession, we chose this profession so that not only we can make a difference and make people feel beautiful about themselves and, you know, edify what they already have, but we came into this profession to be business professionals so that we could separate ourselves from everybody
else.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, when I hear and I see, you know, people on social media, it's a couple Insta famous, I don't want to even call them stylists because they don't have a license, that do hair and they have done the celebrities like your Cardi B's and, you know, your big name celebrities and stuff like that. You know, when I hear people going and taking their classes, they go take their classes and they're like, yeah, so this person was completely unprofessional. Half the stuff they were talking about was not right, was not correct. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're not using the proper terminology. They're not separating themselves from anybody. So what is going to make us as beauty professionals encourage other people that are doing hair or do have the gift, because it is a gift and it is an art.
Yes.
This expression of using our hands to create things, it's art. So an artist wouldn't be out here, you know what I'm saying, selling their paintings for $5 when it took
Correct.
them 5 hours.
Right.
So why do you think it's okay for you
Don't we
to
going there.
shortchange my check,
We
my
going-
bag?
we going
We're going there.
We are going there. Girl.
Absolutely, I guess.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
In case you want to save room, these are desserts that we have here. The only thing we do not have is the brownie.
But yes, we going there. Let's talk about it. Because it makes people think that they can shorten our bag when they come to the salon, because I went to, you know, Melissa at her house and she did my weave and she only charged me $50. That's a problem.
Let's go there. Since we going there. Melissa let you come to her house with your hair already washed. Because we going there. Your hair, you didn't have to do no washing. So whatever your hair was, you done laid on that dirty pillowcase and you went to Melissa because you washed your hair the night before. You went to Melissa and let Melissa braid your hair, right? Or put your weave in. Melissa probably got your hair off of AliExpress. I'm just saying that. And Melissa did not go to school to know how to properly do a foundational braid on your hair. So then when you take your unit off, you have a receding hairline, and you probably have scalp dermatitis.
Speak on it.
And you had it for 3 months because she said you can wear it for 3 months.
Said you can wear it for 3 months.
And you never just took it off, took care of your hair,
Right.
and then you go right back
Right.
and get the same thing.
Right.
Because you don't know how to care for your hair. And you feel like a licensed professional is too much money.
It's too expensive.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
But
afford it.
I look at it as an investment in your beauty
Absolutely.
and an investment in your character.
And your future.
And-
Because you keep on, you ain't gonna have no hair.
You're not gonna have no hair. And then you're gonna have to go to the doctor to
Right.
get shots in your scalp.
And hope
And
and pray.
hope and pray that your follicles are not damaged.
Listen, that's a whole conversation right there.
So
Because, you know, I mean, there are certain people that I haven't seen, like I said, on social media, and they talk really badly about wearing weaves and wearing wigs, and they're like, you know, this is a problem in our community, you know, with people that have this texture of hair. This is what we do. We cover it up. We're not embracing. First of all, I feel like it's a deeper issue going on when people are just totally not embracing. And then I also feel like, you know, for the good stylists,
that are following a regimen, that are saying to our clients, hey sis, you got 30 days and your hair unit needs to come down.
Yes.
Your weave needs to come out. And if you're going to wear these wigs, you need to be coming in here every other week for scalp treatments and, you know, all of these different things to make sure that, you know, you are not tearing up your hair. And then at the end of the day, what are we doing to make them take a break? They got to be able to take a break in between having some of these services. So I can remember being a salon owner, and I lost some clients behind that, and it was okay. But then when they got bald,
They came back.
they came back and said, you try to tell me. I didn't want to listen. Can you fix this? Because people just said I had grown hands. I believe my hands were, you know, anointed by the Lord to grow the hair back. Hallelujah. But, you know, it's like I tried to warn you. So I would rather not take your money. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to contribute to your problem. So all stylists are not created equal.
Because they will take the bag.
I get it. But I don't like when stylists are bashing the ones that are providing those types of services, because those services made me a lot of money. I mean, seriously, it took me 6 figures when I started selling virgin hair and Indian hair out my salon. I was the first salon in Charleston to ever carry anything like that. Before the beauty supplies had it, I had it. I had it from African people. You know what I'm saying? So for me to be able to provide that product, that was my retail, and to provide the service, and my clients knew that they could come back to me and they could use that. They made that investment. I had layaway before afterpay. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
These things was already happening. You know, and you know, and then for, you know, other salon owners to say, hey, go to that girl's salon and get your hair. They were sending their clients to me to get their hair versus coming to me and say, girl, how I get the hookup so I can get this hair in my shop. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we can't bash. We just need to have conversation so that we can all understand what is going on here. Because at the end of the day, telling people don't get weaves and don't wear wigs, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's
not that you can't wear it. It's just how you take care of your hair underneath
the responsibility. This service comes
and that's
with
your
a responsibility.
And that's your responsibility as a stylist to let them know, okay, you're going to get this service, but you know, even though you got this service, you still come in every 2 weeks so I can take care of your scalp.
Absolutely.
So
I agree.
Even like with braids, I wash my braids. So it's not
that's
like
a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. I'm like, we've been doing this. This was on my service menu. Get your braid shampoo. So when my clients would be like, hey, it's summertime, I'm gonna get my hair braided, so you know I'm gonna kind of like not get relaxers for a little while so I can prep my hair, because you said I need to prep my hair. I need a padding of new growth so I can get these braids so I don't go put braids on top of freshly relaxed hair at the root and break it off. So now with that being said, now it allows me to offer them a service to come back. Okay, cool, go get your hair braided. You need to come in every other week. These are the products that I need to send you home with. You need to be using this on your scalp, using this on the hair, because you still got hair in between those braids. Okay.
And this synthetic hair will dry your hair out.
Dry it out. Dry as a bone. So it's like, listen, don't shy away from allowing your clients, like if that's something they want to do, encourage it and just teach them, hey, there's maintenance in between here and this is why. You know, when we start talking to our clients about the science, they are tuned
They're like this.
Listen.
Oh, so all that happened?
Listen.
Oh, really? And by the time you done, well, what was that product you said I needed? Go ahead and add that to my tab. I'm like,
Exactly. And that takes me right into the other thing I want to talk to you about. Like, you know, so many stylists are afraid to sell retail still, even though we went through COVID and they were forced. A lot of people were forced, so they were like, okay, let me get this product, but they didn't know how to sell it. They didn't know how to market it. So then they were DMing me and sliding in my DMs like, hey, can you help me? And I'm like, yep, here go a link for a class. Get on up in here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, with that being said, it's just like, you know, embracing retail and really understanding that as a beauty professional, it is your job. Like, this ain't no option.
It's not.
Like, where do we get this from to send them to the beauty supply store?
So my thing with the whole retail, scared to sell the retail thing was, of course, you know, I went through your retail course. Yes, I'm a retail boss graduate. And even though I came from corporate, I came from a corporate salon, so I understood what retail was coming from a corporate salon. But it's that initial shock of when you're in your own space and you have to buy that retail and you have to figure out how is this retail going to move off of your shelf so that you can, you know, so you're taking money out of your business to purchase products for the business. So you're making, instead of saying, oh, I'm spending this much money, you need to change it to an investment mindset. I'm investing this money in my business. I'm investing this for my retail. But you have to think of your retail as a return on your investment. So what are you doing with that retail money? Are you taking it and are you saving? Are you putting it into a retirement fund? Are you, or are you taking trips?
Like,
I'm doing all the
taking
above.
trips?
Sorry.
All of that.
I'm doing all the above.
Listen, I'm gonna cut this little.
So that to me was like, I will do all three with my retail, but are you being smart about it? And then are you marketing your promotions? Are you educating your client on the products? Because I remember one time in class, I don't know who asked the question, but it's like, when I get all this product, I don't want it to just sit on the shelf. Well, one, you got to know your client. You got to know what you got. First of all, you got to know your clientele. So don't just go because the store has this on sale on this week. No, is that part of your offerings, your carrying? And you should carry no more than 2 or 3 brands in your salon, point blank. So I only carry 3 brands in my salon, and I keep it simple. It's easy. My clients know what they need.
I love it.
And every 3 months they get in their package. They know what they're getting.
I know that.
And then if they have an issue to arise or they're getting braids, they get the braid package. So I block everything out in packages.
They get the what?
The braid package.
Come on with the packages.
Honey, they get that braid package. Yes. So they get those packages because they still have to take care of their hair underneath. And I have people who are not even my clients, but they're calling me because they want to buy a product from me.
Isn't that
because
crazy?
they probably seen something on Facebook or Instagram that I said, and I'm like, what did I say? I don't even remember. But they remembered me. And then I also have another client who I do her daughter's hair. She's never come to me, but I do her daughter's hair. But she will buy that rosemary package every 3 months. She comes in and gets her rosemary package. So it just goes to show you what educating the client. They go back and tell somebody. And they say, oh, go to that girl down the street. She got all the products you need.
Absolutely.
So it just takes educating them, showing them how to use the product, telling them what's in it, making sure they understand how to read the labels. Because if they can't get to you and they decide to make they have a lapse in judgment, and they have to go to aisle 14 at Target. They know how to turn that bottle and say, oh, she said I can't use this because it got these first 5 ingredients, so I need to go ahead and put this back. Because when you come back and you have this wax buildup on, you're going to have to get the detox back package. You have to get the scalp package.
Now you got to pay more.
So now you got to pay more money. And you really learn your lesson.
And that is something that is so true. It happens all the time. I've seen it happen over and over. You know, people won't trust your judgment. They go out here and buy other products, and then they come back, and now it's like we have a bigger problem. And I always would teach any of my students, have that consultation and analyzation with your clients. Turn that chair around, sis. We need to talk face to face. We need to see eye to eye. I need you to understand that I'm the doctor of hair care. I went and got those 1,500 hours, and I stood in front of a board, and I had to know what I was doing in order to get this license, and I need you to respect it, and I respect you as my client, but we got to work together as a team. Without the team effort, this ain't gonna happen. Bottom line in the story. Well, girl, listen, I'm just glad we could just sit and have some conversation. We about to sit here and enjoy the rest of this food.
Yes, we are.
Because God is good to us, and I can't wait to see you next time so we can chop it up some more and talk about these beauty hot topics, girl, because they hot. And they need to get it from us, the beauty industry, and not what anybody else is just out here saying.
The licensed
professionals. Yes, girl. Yes. So we're going to finish this food, girl, and we'll be back. We're going to do this again.
Yes.
You down?
I'm down.
Down for the get down.
Yes.